Welcome to the weekend edition of the Nightly Nuge. And you know what, Ted? You and I have spent the better part of the last 3 years trying to build an organization to truly make a difference in America, not only when it comes to the policies involved and the laws and regulations that are involved with the hunting lifestyle, but also trying to get our fellow hunters to get out and vote to ensure that this lifestyle and really all of the traditional American lifestyles, God, family, country related, aren't destroyed by the evil that's trying to rear its ugly serpent head in America right now. Ted, how important is it that our fellow hunters get involved with Hunter Nation, and why is it that you're so passionate about that?
I saw the dumbing down of America on a fast track as early as the 1960s when I was attacked because I carried a gun and I ate venison, literally, and I wouldn't get high. I wouldn't take dope. I wouldn't snort poison. I mean, I go, you've got to be kidding me, because I was raised as a bow hunter, and I realized that the attacks on me were a direct result of the distancing of America from the original founding values of this great experiment in self-government: God, family, country, Constitution, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, the work ethic, law and order, the 10 Commandments, the Golden Rule, being the best that you can be, putting your heart and soul into being in the asset column, taking risks and making sacrifices so that you're a benefit to your family, the country, mankind, and the environment. These radical, original, foundational values were being deteriorated intentionally by academia, by the government, by Hollywood. Even it turned out that Disney was turning against us from our youth. So my point is that worse than liberalism, which is just, numbnutty, worse than the Democrats, which are on the fast track to become a communist nation, worse than Marxism, worse than anything I can think of is apathy. And I saw the comfortable numbnuts disconnecting from their responsibility to participate in this sacred and blood and guts paid for experiment in self-government. So you created Hunter Nation because we discovered, much to our pain and anguish, that hunters, way too many hunters in many states, more than half the licensed hunters, didn't even vote. They didn't vote. They'd squawk about gun rights and they'd squawk about regulations that had nothing to do with wildlife science, but then they didn't respond responsibly by voting and putting pressure on our elected employees. So we got this thing going thanks to you, Keith, and we spread the word. We wallpapered and carpet bomb across the hunting world of America that you have to participate. You have to find out who's running for your school board and the dog catcher and your governor and your mayor and your senator and your congressman. You got to be involved. Your game department. Every bureaucracy needs to have we the people input. And we absolutely made a difference in 2016, where an outsider came in swinging a crowbar of truth, logic, and common sense, and we got a guy elected who was going to expose the criminal corruption, the military-industrial congressional complex that was raping and pillaging hard-earned tax dollars in America, and we made a difference. And now HunterNation.org is the epicenter where we are circling the conservative wagons. Isn't it interesting that the conservative values, God, family, country, law, and order, has the same resonance as conservation. Yeah. Conservation lifestyle of hunting, fishing, and trapping, keeping wildlife balanced within the carrying capacity of its habitat so we can produce quality air, soil, and water. Who doesn't know this? So, yes, HunterNation.org is where we gather and circle the wagons to make sure that God, family, country, Constitution, Bill of Rights, law, and order is restored in America, because we're on the fast track down the toilet thanks to the liberals and the Democrats and the rhinos, and we the people in the hunting world, the licensed hunting families of America, can literally reverse this death march and go back to a real America quality of life. But if the hunters don't vote, then the Michael Moore fan club kicks our ass, and that's unacceptable.
You know what, Ted? Powerful stuff. What a great week we've had. Covered a lot of topics. I really appreciate that. And like you, Ted, apathy. that is really the scourge of America. Those of us that have got fat and happy because our predecessors risked it all, gave it all. I, for one, am not going to set this one out on the sidelines. I'm going to do everything I can to make a difference in the world. And I would encourage all of our listeners to do the same. Go to hunternation.org and go to huntthevote.org. Become part of something bigger than you. Ted, next week, more current events, more nonsense, more fun. See you next week, buddy.
Guaranteed truth, logic, and common sense. I'm addicted. God bless everybody out there. Be sure you tune in. Let everybody know there's truth, logic, and common sense. It's called the Nightly Nuge. Thank you, Keith.